Only the driver remains. IROC is a celebration of champions. 12 of the finest from 4 different racing disciplines race on 4 different tracks. It's the International Race of Champions. The waiting is over. The cars are prepared. The 12 have been chosen, and we're ready for IROC 21. Daytona International, legendary speedway. This old track has seen some great racing, including the International Race of Champions. Now, this is the traditional first stop for the IROC. From here, they will go on to Charlotte and race under the lights once again, and then to the brand new California Speedway, and the series wraps up at Michigan International, where they will crown the champion of the IROC and distribute a purse of $760,000. Driver skill is paramount. The mechanical advantage is eliminated. Let's go down pit side now. And Jackaroot.
Well, originally Davy Jones, the winner of last year's 24 Hours of Le Mans, was invited to compete in this year's IROC, but a tragic accident, which leaves him in recovery, has opened the door for a 25-year veteran of Winston Cup racing and a former winner in IROC at Daytona, Darrell Waltrip. Darrell, it's been a while since you've been in an IROC car. How much have they changed?
Well, they now put fruit on your dash. They didn't used to do that. Somebody put me a nice banana up there. I'm glad of that. I guess they figure I need it. The cars are a lot better, Jackie, than they were a long time ago. Every car seems to be a little bit more equal, which here at Daytona makes for, as you know, an exciting race. And I'm just glad to be in the deal. You know, I need to get out here with these guys, mix it up a little bit, and sharpen my skills up a little bit. I'm having a good Daytona, and I just look forward to this thing today. And, hey, I could win this.
Paulie says, don't put out the rocking chair for old DW yet. He's going to try and go to the front.
Now, over the winter, the IROC crews have been working hard on these race cars. And Benny Parsons, they've come up with something interesting.
You know, 1996 was the first year for the Pontiac Firebird. The cars were fast. They were durable, but they didn't produce enough side-by-side racing to please the IROC officials. They came here in November. They tested. They changed deck lids, rear fenders, front ends, trying to find that side-by-side racing. Nothing worked. Someone finally said, let's slow the cars down. They had a 4-barrel carburetor that produced 750 cubic feet per minute. They took that off, put a 390, almost half that size, 390 cubic feet per minute. Slowed the cars down over 10 miles per hour. And guess what? Side-by-side racing, the IROC drivers say this is the best IROC car they've ever had.
Now, on the pole, a man who has never raced a stock car in his life. Alex Zanardi, the great rookie out of the kart series, will start this field because the field on the first race is determined by a draw. So there's Zanardi on the pole, but look alongside. Dale Earnhardt representing the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. In row 2, it's Jeff Gordon of NASCAR. And Tommy Kendall representing the SCCA Trans Am Series. In the 3rd row, Robbie Gordon, who represents the Score Trophy Truck Series. And Darrell Waltrip from NASCAR. The 2 champions in row 4, Mark Martin, the IROC champion, and the reigning Winston Cup champion, Terry Labonte. In row 5, Dale Jarrett representing NASCAR, and Randy LaJoie, the champion of the Busch Series. In row 6, 2 representatives of the PPG Kart World Series, Jimmy Vasser, the reigning champion, and Al Unser Jr. That's the field. Now let's go down to Jack.
Well, the draft is so very important here that many of the drivers say there's a sweet spot on these cars. Now, according to them, in the past, the sweet spot was about the length of this yardstick. If you were on the outside here, you'd get the most effective use of the draft on the side and also in the back. But that was last year. This year, the sweet spot has gotten much smaller, down to only 12 inches. So again, you've got to be tucked in 12 inches here or 12 inches there for the draft to be effective. You don't slingshot anymore, you just slide shot.
So for Alex Zanardi, he is about to learn a lesson in super speedway stock car racing, and that lesson will come from none other than the master, Dale Earnhardt, that gold car on the high side of the front row. Tommy Kendall closes in behind Earnhardt as they ready themselves for the start. Al Unser Jr. is lagging back. Looks like he's wanting to get a run up to the flag.
That's exactly what he's trying to get a good run. Oh, Alex Zanardi rented a 4-speed, learned to shift because he can't afford to miss a shift at this point in the stock cars.
Zanardi surges forward a little bit. And here we go. Zanardi actually is able to get the jump at the green flag, but Earnhardt moving high now. They keep in alignment. Kendall behind Earnhardt. Jeff Gordon comes up behind Zanardi. Earnhardt, the gold car, the violet car. is Tommy Kendall on the high side. And Darrell Waltrip closing in behind Jeff Gordon now. So it's 3 cars in the draft down low.
And Tommy Kendall, the purple car, 3 abreast in turn 3.
Here comes Jeff Gordon around Zanardi. And Jeff Gordon noses ahead. Earnhardt drifting down towards Zanardi. Waltrip coming in that bright yellow car behind Gordon.
And Alex Zanardi is as scared as he's ever been in his life.
The onboard view now looking up to the lead.
There they are, 2 rows of 3 cars wide. That's Jeff Gordon in front of the red car. Darrell Waltrip in second spot.
And then it's anybody's question who's going to be third. Right now it's the silver car, and that of course is Robbie Gordon. Zanardi in the center continues sliding backwards.
That's Mark Martin, the light blue car, the defending IROC champion.
So the bright red car in front is Jeff Gordon. The battle is back here.
Dale Jarrett going along with Mark Martin.
Randy LaJoie up high. The white car, you're looking ahead from Al Unser Jr.'s car back in the back. Looks like the IROC's got their own website now. www.irocracing.com.
Oh, almost making contact is Zanardi and Tommy Kendall.
LaJoie up pushing Kendall too.
Jimmy Basser dives to the inside.
Again, 3 wide.
There's Earnhardt on the inside. The gold car is Earnhardt following Mark Martin.
And at the front, it's Waltrip now paying off. He ducks in. Robbie Gordon moves high. Oh, here comes Mark Martin.
Did you see Mark Martin go by the silver car of Robbie Gordon?
Boy, he just stuck his nose in there and shoved him aside. Heading down into the tri-oval once again. Waltrip, Martin, Earnhardt. So NASCAR dominating again in this series. Of course, little question when you come to Daytona and you got the likes of Earnhardt, Martin, Waltrip. Looking from Dale Earnhardt over to Jeff Gordon. Here comes Robbie Gordon, the silver car. And that's Jarrett that just made the maneuver to the inside. Tommy Kendall coming up.
There we go, battle for the lead. That's Mark Martin on the outside.
He gets a good push from Jeff Gordon. Robbie Gordon comes up behind Jeff.
As I said at the top of the show, these drivers said these Firebirds are as good as it's ever been. And it's obvious, 3 abreast.
The train down low. That's Waltrip, then Jarrett, then Earnhardt. Jimmy Vasser is behind Earnhardt now.
Terry Labonte, the blue car at the back.
Boy, at the front, all of a sudden, here comes that low groove working for him. Kendall way, way high.
And 3 abreast for the lead. Jeff Gordon goes to the outside, Earnhardt to the inside, and leaves Martin with nowhere to go. Here comes Waltrip back on the inside. Jimmy Basser, good run on the inside. He follows Darrell Waltrip.
Now Earnhardt hooks up with Jarrett, first and second. Jeff Gordon's hooked up with Robbie Gordon up high. Waltrip trying to find racing room. Which lane's he going to pick? He comes low with Earnhardt. Jarrett right down the middle of the course. So the lead moves back and forth as the run at Daytona is well underway.
Enter the True Value Firebird Excitement Lap Sweepstakes for your chance to win a race weekend for 2 to any 1998 NASCAR race. Call 1-800-944-4760.
New Mobil 1 0W30. Superior protection when you start your car.
The International Race of Champions on ABC Sports. Brought to you by the legendary Firebird Trans Am from Pontiac. Mobil Motor Oil. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years. True Value, official hardware store of IROC and garages everywhere. And AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
Back with with round one. IROC 21 Daytona Speedway. It's been a terrific battle at the front, and it continues as Jeff Gordon battles with Dale Jarrett. Earnhardt sticks his nose in there, and they are all still right together. And now a little help from Earnhardt. There goes Jarrett.
Earnhardt literally pushed Dale Jarrett by Jeff Gordon.
Well, you said it starting, Benny, that they worked hard on making these raceable. They made them a little bit slower, but boy, they sure can race.
They're probably running in the low 180-mile-per-hour range.
Jarrett, Earnhardt, Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon.
It is unbelievable how these guys are going after it, and now Earnhardt is going to try to go for the lead. Is Jeff Gordon going with him? Yeah, no, Earnhardt is going to the back.
Sliding backwards.
That's Darrell Waltrip going for the lead.
And Waltrip moves out in front. Boy, they're all over the place on this track.
It looks like Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon, and Dale Jarrett.
All 12 of them staying very close together.
Oh, look, the green car blown by
Caught up there. Al Unser Jr. running very high. You're on board with him now. That's Terry Labonte alongside little Al.
Can this go on for 40, 50 laps? Can this? No, it can't. It can't go on for 40 laps.
Well, the question, of course, is going to be the tires, but at this speed, they should be fine. What about Zanardi's heart rate?
Robbie Gordon going for the lead on Waltrip. 3 abreast for the lead, going in 3. Darrell moves over, tries to follow Robbie Gordon, and meanwhile, Jeff Gordon and Earnhardt on the outside. Seems like that line is going.
Gordon trying to keep the middle of the track. 16 changes in the first 8 laps of the run.
There we see Robbie Gordon say, come on, Darrell, push, push. Give him the hand signal.
But you know what? Right in there is Zanardi as well. He's keeping up with it. Got to be tough for guys like Zanardi and Vassar who have never driven this kind of car at all. But look at him. Look at Zanardi.
There he goes. And there goes Labonte up in front of Dale Earnhardt. Oh, did you see that car hit for the outside? How did he not hit the wall?
Benny, you're right. The racing is incredibly tight. Now, what about those hand signals they're using? Let's go down again to Jackaroo.
A lot of time was spent trying to teach Alex Zanardi and some of the IndyCar guys the hand signals in the draft. When you're following a car, the car in front must signal the car behind him. Now, this means stay in line, or like this. If you want to go to the outside, they point this way. If you want to take them on the inside, you go that way. If there's an accident, you wave. If it says, hold tight and run with me, they put their hand up in a fist. We'll have to see how well the drivers from other disciplines learn these drafting signals.
Well, Jack Zanardi seems to have learned them well. He started on the pole, dropped back to last place, and has now battled his way back up into third. Good run for Zanardi. You know, there seemed to be a winter-long argument about that pass at the end of the kart season with Zanardi, where he passed at the top of the hill, and finally I asked him about it. I said, you know, did you break a rule? What was it? He said, no one has considered that maybe I just missed the brake pedal.
Jeff Gordon, the red car, is the leader. Darrell Waltrip in second. Alex Zanardi is third. Meanwhile, there we see Terry Labonte on the inside battling for 4th spot.
Everybody in formation in that battle for 4th spot. First 3 breaking away. Gordon, Waltrip, Zanardi. The silver car is Robbie Gordon. Terry Labonte working down low. Earnhardt, the gold car, closing in. Al Unser Jr., the green car, you're now on board with him. They flash across the start-finish line once again. I'll tell you what, they have done a wonderful job at the IROC shop of getting these things raceable. Just a change of carburetors to make them handle better.
They are racing so well, side by side, 3 abreast. Meanwhile, Earnhardt and Al Unser Jr. side by side. Here we go for the lead. Darrell Waltrip on the outside. Zanardi is going with him.
Zanardi's pushing him. Oh, look at that.
You think Darrell Waltrip, I said a while ago that Alex Zanardi was as scared as he's ever been. Darrell Waltrip might be as scared as he's ever been. With Alex Zanardi pushed him in turn 3.
And they've been working back and forth on teaching Zanardi exactly what all the hand signals ought to be. So as basic as that for Alex Zanardi, but he's making a great show of his skills right now. Still Waltrip the leader, Zanardi in second.
Jeff Gordon, the dark red car on the inside, was leading the last lap. Now he's running about, who knows, he could be 8th.
Now almost back to a start formation. High group to low group. Let's see what pays off here. They seem to be able to run anywhere they want.
Any place they want to do around the racetrack.
So the battle continues. Round 1 of the International Race of Champions at Daytona. We'll be right back.
You think about your car a lot. You have grease under your fingernails. You can name all the pro drivers and the cars they drive. You have all the car stuff a guy could want, and you know where to go if you don't. True Value, official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and garages everywhere.
Sent ABC Sunday.
The Pontiac Firebird Trans Ams are eminently raceable, and in just a few laps we've seen a rather constant change. Keep an eye on Jarrett and Earnhardt back in the back. They've been back together, but look, another change with the lead.
Where did Terry Labonte and Robbie Gordon come from? They just blew by. Now they have the lead, and Al Unser Jr. has worked his way from 12th spot and looks like right now is running in 3rd spot. Of course, that's been contested as we speak, going in 3 because there's Darrell Waltrip.
Well, these guys were running up high earlier, and they were able to get by on the high side, but look at the lineup behind him. Al Unser Jr. has finally worked his way up to the front, runs just ahead of Darrell Waltrip on the high side. Tommy Kendall, who is, as a road racer, really showing some savvy in running the IROC cars, especially on the super speedways. He's right in the fight.
In the meantime, Jimmy Vasser, the kart champion, has fallen off the draft. Perhaps a mechanical problem, but without communication and telemetry to the pits, we won't know till it's over.
And once again, here's a battle for the lead. Robbie Gordon. Is that Zanardi?
Gordon followed by Unser Jr.
Unser Jr., I'm sorry.
So Unser Jr. is making his presence known up at the front of the field. Robbie Gordon, the silver number 5, is the leader. Unser Jr., of course, the winningest driver in IROC history.
And Tommy Kendall is 3rd place. Mark Martin is 4th. And here we go, battle for the lead. Al Unser Jr. goes for the lead.
Jr. jumps out. Kendall jumps with him. They hook up. Now, Robbie Gordon is left alone. And you're looking out the back of Al Unser Jr.'s car, back at Tommy Kendall. And boy, the minute that draft line dropped out, Robbie Gordon was in trouble. Now he tries to get back into the fight.
Here comes Darrell Waltrip on the inside. Robbie Gordon is 2 abreast. Now it's going to be 3 abreast. Labonte on the outside. Man, are these cars handling or what? Ooh, and Robbie Gordon pulls right in behind Darrell Waltrip. Said, okay, I'll push him when we get to the straightaway. We won't do that in the corner.
Zanardi right behind him now. This is on board Mark Martin. There's Zanardi down to the left. Mark Martin, of course, the defending champion in the IROC. Of the 12 cars in the field in the first 15 laps, 7 different drivers have led. There have been 10 different lead changes.
Oh,
hang on to it, Alex.
He did a great job.
That'll make him think about it for a lap or so, though, don't you think?
Oh, no.
Okay, 100 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Al Unser Jr., Darrell Waltrip. Tommy Kendall drives up on the outside of Darrell Waltrip, followed by Mark Martin. You know, if we say this wrong in 2 or 3 laps, it'll be right.
Yeah, you don't have to worry too much about that.
Because I was wrong. It was Terry Labonte, not Mark Martin behind Tommy Kendall. That's Mark Martin, the 3rd blue car back.
Exactly. Light blue, medium blue, violet. Waltrip still working very well down low. He's down there alone and still able to keep up with the leaders. Now Waltrip gets some help.
A lot of work over the winter on these Firebirds. Let's check in again with Jack.
One of the big modifications in the engine department this year was the cold air boxes no longer used on these IROC cars. Now, what is a cold air box? A fiberglass flange. Inside of it is an air cleaner. But you see this metal scoop here? That attached last year right to this cowl area and forced the air directly into the air cleaner down into the carburetor, building really good horsepower, but also creating lift on the front end of the car. So what did they do this year? They went back to the old-fashioned air cleaner with just a small fiberglass flange in the front. A lot of air getting around the engine, creates less lift, makes the car more stable.
And the drivers say more raceable. Look at the white car in fifth. The Busch champion, Randy LaJoie, is now moving into the fight.
Randy LaJoie is the NASCAR Busch Grand National Champion in 1996, invited to the IROC.
And pretty excited about it, I think.
Very excited.
He's been around the garage area, cracking jokes with everybody, just having a great time.
Someone said he walked in the garage this morning and said, hey, there's a LaJoie in the race. What if he's in relation to me?
So Tommy Kendall now taking a look to the inside of Al Unser Jr., but content to stay there. The move comes on the outside. Labonte and Martin, they hook up.
Is this going to work?
Whoa, look at Randy as he comes on the inside. Now they're three abreast into the tri-oval. And Randy LaJoie surges into second place.
And Earnhardt is trying to follow. Earnhardt had fallen back. Now he makes his move towards the front.
Oh, and Tommy Kendall gets lost in that one and falls backwards. Kendall leaning on Robbie Gordon as they come through the corner. That violet car and the silver car. Now on top of Earnhardt. So you're riding in fourth place. Nope, now back to fifth as Mark Martin comes by, hooked up behind Terry Labonte. Earnhardt comes back around Martin, gets some help from Robbie Gordon. Tommy Kendall drops in behind him. At the front of the field, it's Al Unser Jr., Randy LaJoie, and Terry Labonte. We'll be right back.
This NASCAR season, something new is taking over the track, the whole track. Introducing the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac, chosen the official pace car of NASCAR and the Daytona 500. Its wheels are set wide to connect all of its power to the road for better control on any track. The Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. It's official now. Wider is better.
This little celebration is brought to you by the people who've helped so many other people understand and enjoy cellular phones. Radio Shack, America's #1 retailer of cellular phones. Surprised? We're not. We're just happy. Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
IndyCar racing, where the thoroughbreds of motorsports go head-to-head in a battle of science and sweat, where high-tech meets high-speed, and where all the horsepower in the world doesn't mean a thing if you can't get out of the pits. But while every race begins with a green flag, for Scott Pruitt and Patrick Racing, it starts with something else. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. Power you can depend on.
Enter the True Value Firebird Excitement Lap Sweepstakes for your chance to win a race weekend for two to any 1998 NASCAR race. Call 1-800-944-4762 and identify the driver leading at the start of lap 21. Enter the correct car number and you're in the drawing to win. Winners will receive round-trip air travel and hotel, 2 tickets to that weekend's race, and $500. Or you could win one of 65 True Value gift certificates. So get ready to call and win. Contest ends 1 hour after the conclusion of this telecast.
One day, a network movie premiere.
May I help you?
I have a temp. Quite a temp. I don't get involved with my assistants.
Someone is leaking marketing strategy. Timothy Hutton, Laura Flynn Boyle, and Faye Dunaway, The Temp. ABC Monday. Parental discretion advised. It's Blue. ABC Tuesdays.
Back at Daytona, round one of the IROC. Dale Earnhardt's looking for any position he can find to try and get around both Randy LaJoie and Al Unser Jr. It's Unser Jr. LaJoie 1-2 right now. They've been swapping the lead back and forth regularly since the green flag, and we have been green right from the start. No caution periods yet.
Let's go down to Jack.
According to Randy LaJoie, this invitation to 1997's rendition of the International Race of Champions is a dream come true. He recalls back when IROC first started, sitting at home in Norwalk, Connecticut, with his father, Don LaJoie, an all-time feature winner on the short tracks of Connecticut, and saying, "Daddy, what's the International Race of Champions?" After his father explained it, he said, "I always just dreamed that maybe someday I'd get an invitation."
LaJoie came all the way from the back, as did Al Unser Jr. And everybody, with the exception perhaps of Jimmy Vasser, who got out of the draft and lost the toe and fell way behind. The other 11 have stayed right together and have been battling constantly.
And Randy LaJoie wants to lead this IROC race. You can see it in his maneuvers, his aggressive maneuver. I want to lead. He's motioning Earnhardt now. When we get on the backstretch, let's go, because I want to lead a lap.
Of course, in reality, this is the first good opportunity that any of these drivers have had to find out how these cars work. Yes, they've had some testing, they've had some practice, but that's very limited. And remember, too, as a part of the IROC rules, they do not ever practice in the car that they're going to end up racing in.
Looking back from the leader, Al Unser Jr., second place, Randy LaJoie, the white car number 10. That means he drew the 10th starting spot outside of the 5th row. Earnhardt right behind LaJoie as they hook up, trying to catch Al Unser Jr.
LaJoie still can't get by Unser Jr. This is riding along with the leader of the race, Al Unser Jr., as he looks back at Randy LaJoie and Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt's trying on the outside now, and he has help.
Earnhardt moves into second place. He's going to take two others with him. Randy LaJoie is caught out down low.
That's Robbie Gordon behind Dale Earnhardt. Looks like Tommy Kendall, and here comes Robbie Gordon on the inside of Earnhardt.
And he makes that move all alone. Pulls up a little benefit of the draft from Earnhardt, darts out into free air, and tucks in behind Al Unser Jr. Now Waltrip comes up to get behind Robbie Gordon.
And LaJoie has worked his way back to 9th spot in just one lap.
Just that quick. On board Earnhardt. Jeff Gordon down below.
Robbie Gordon, 1997, going to be a Winston Cup stock car driver for Felix Sabates.
I imagine it was difficult for the folks at IROC to figure out what series they were going to pull him out of. They finally decided that Robbie would represent the Score Trophy Truck Series, but he could have been an IndyCar kart driver.
Stock car driver.
Could have been a stock car driver. Coming from Score, though, that's a unique representation. That's nice to see them represented in the IROC.
Oh, now here we go. Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte going by Robbie Gordon, 3 abreast. Waltrip moves into second spot.
Robbie Gordon decides to pick up on Waltrip. That'll leave Labonte out, but not where's Gordon going now with Zanardi coming in, and Zanardi tucks in behind Robbie Gordon. Here comes Earnhardt on the inside. He's alongside Gordon. Jeff Gordon helping Earnhardt. Just got to find a drafting partner.
Got to find somebody to dance with. Now here comes Waltrip and Earnhardt. Can they draft up? Can they hook up? And Jeff Gordon. Can those three hook up and get by the leader? It looks like it. Darrell Waltrip ducks to the inside.
Al Unser Jr. comes right down the middle of the road. Waltrip now getting help from Earnhardt.
Jeff Gordon, okay, who do I follow here, he says. Who do I follow?
Go with Earnhardt. Good choice. And look at this. Look at Tommy Kendall, the road racer.
And Zanardi just a little bit off the pace. Jack Arute, any indication why?
Alex Zanardi dropped off the pace, guys, because coming off of turn 4, he whacked the wall just a little bit. The IROC crew is standing by should Zanardi decide to come in and get service. But thus far in the green flag conditions, the diminutive Italian is saying, I'm staying out.
Waltrip, Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Tommy Kendall, Al Unser Jr., Robbie Gordon, Randy LaJoie. That's the front of the field.
Alex Zanardi from CART, who started on the pole, has now fallen back to 11th place after a little brush with the wall. Go back and take a look at that. What do you think, Benny?
Comes off turn 4.
Aqua car behind Robbie Gordon in the silver car. Whoa!
Oh, I see.
And he recovered it.
I see what happened, Alex Zanardi. Into the wall hard, heavy contact. Meanwhile, back to the race, battle for the lead. Waltrip, Earnhardt, and Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, with the help of Tommy Kendall, comes by the inside. Al Unser Jr. tucks in behind. That leaves Earnhardt and Waltrip out on the high side. Where's Al Unser Jr. going to pick? He dances up a little bit. So Jeff Gordon takes the advantage. Al Unser Jr. gets up behind his old buddy Dale Earnhardt. Waltrip tucks in. Boy, there's that combination of three. Years and years and years of experience. And look at it, pay off for Earnhardt. Up high to the right, down low to the left. I've got the lead. Get out of my way. So Dale Earnhardt has taken over the lead in round 1 of the IROC at Daytona. I told you, Daytona always produces a great race. We'll be back.
From 475 degrees above zero to 35 degrees below. Nothing outperforms Mobil 1. New Mobil 1 0W30. Superior protection when you start your car.
Saturday on Wide World, American champion Virgil Hill puts his WBA and IBF light heavyweight titles on the line. He meets undefeated Darius Mikulchevsky as the Valvoline Professional Boxing Series continues. Wide World goes ringside Saturday.
The thrill of victory. The agony of defeat.
Al Unser Jr., Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt. Racing's biggest names get together for a fight under the lights. IROC rolls on next Sunday on ABC.
On March the 1st, 1997, a tornado hit our town of Hickory Ridge.
And the destruction behind me is just a small example of the devastation this Hickory Ridge community has suffered.
Steve Spencer and the K8 News team reported this event to you, and you responded in a way that we'll never forget. Hundreds of you from all over Region 8 helped us when we needed you most. I am Tim Davis, thanking each of you for a job well done. You truly are good neighbors in Region 8.
Early prenatal care is the key to having a healthy baby. I'm Janet Huckabee, honorary co-chair of the Campaign for Healthier Babies. As a mother, I know how important it is to call your doctor as soon as you know you're pregnant. And please, call for your free Happy Birthday Baby book. I want to thank these Arkansas hospitals who help sponsor the Campaign for Healthier Babies.
Sponsored in part by St. Bernard's Regional Medical Center.
Every week, he beats the competition.
They do have a reputation as a wild bunch, don't they?
Half man, half god, all heart.
He's the one with the golden touch.
Hercules, the legendary journeys. Lucy Lawless is Cena.
I'm a problem solver.
Woman with a dark past. Each week, this woman's work is never done.
I didn't come here to play games.
Cena.
Sundays, starting at 10:30 on KAIT. Join us for K8 News at 5:30, Sundays on KAIT.
With the 31-degree banking in the corners here at Daytona, there is a unique challenge for every IROC driver. Now, each of these IROC cars is designed with suspension and steering geometry that creates what's called steering advance. Now, in layman's terms, what that means is if you were driving down the straightaway here and let go of the wheel, the car would still drift to the left. With corners that are over 3 stories tall, you could drive into them at over 100 miles an hour, take your hands off the steering wheel, and the cornering forces would still turn the car. To go fast here at Daytona, you've got to keep both hands on the wheel, but you also must keep movements to a minimum. Drivers run the 2.5 miles flat out with the accelerator buried to the floorboard. And as they transition off the straightaways and begin to climb those banks, G-forces, roll centers, and gravity kicks in and really works the car's suspension. If a driver has to turn the wheel a lot, what happens is friction creates an excessive amount of heat and reduces the adhesion on the tires. So here at Daytona, less is better. Steer less, and you have more car at the end to chase for the checkered.
Well, Dale Earnhardt now under challenge by Jeff Gordon, his adversary, and Robbie Gordon, the silver car, running down low.
Earnhardt battled for the lead. Jeff Gordon on the outside.
Well past the halfway point, and they are still working perfectly. Look at that. It's like the start all over again. Earnhardt with help from Robbie Gordon low. Gordon moves out, gets alongside Earnhardt, 3 wide again.
And Earnhardt leading the race at the start-finish line, coming off turn 2, is going to be running at the best 7th.
And he ducks in just ahead of Darrell Waltrip. Labonte up to the right. Mark Martin just ahead. That red car in front is Jeff Gordon. Robbie Gordon alongside would like to have something to say about that. Dale Jarrett sitting behind Jeff Gordon. Here comes Al Unser Jr. Now, these two guys have a lot of miles together, and they really ought to work together.
We're right along with Al Unser Jr. in 3rd place. As Dale Jarrett pulls to his outside. Meanwhile, Randy LaJoie is going to make it 3 abreast on the outside.
So 3 wide once again with Unser Jr. and LaJoie. And they tighten in. LaJoie gets the advantage of that, but Unser Jr. coming back low with Earnhardt behind him. Boy, that's a formidable group down low there, isn't it?
It sure is. Robbie Gordon, Al Unser Jr., Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin. Here comes Earnhardt. He flows by Al Unser Jr. And meanwhile, Robbie Gordon going to the lead.
And doing it all by himself. We'll see where Randy LaJoie picks to help him through the corner. He's not sure. I'll go up here with one of the Winston Cup boys. Might be a little better in the long run.
That's Jeff Gordon, the leader of the race. And there are just 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go.
Round 1 of the IROC at Daytona. They have raced every lap from the green, and they have constantly swapped position from the lead on back. Right now, it's Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon, and Dale Earnhardt, followed by Al Unser Jr. Randy LaJoie is battling with Mark Martin.
Finish 2001 car polish cleans, shines, and protects with no rubbing and no buffing. For unbeatable 12-month protection against weather, sun, and pollution, we could call it Finish #1. Nah, Finish 2001 is simply better. With more active shining ingredients than Armor All, Formula 2001 Super Protectant shines and protects your tires, dash, and trim. With unbeatable shine and protection, we could call it Formula #1. Nah, Formula 2001 Super Protected is simply better.
You think about your car a lot. You have grease under your fingernails. You can name all the pro drivers and the cars they drive. You have all the car stuff a guy could want, and you know where to go if you don't. True Value, official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and garages everywhere. So hey, get this 2.5-ton Pro Trolley Jack for only $69.99, or Valvoline Motor Oil just 96 cents after rebate.
Go where you wanna go. Leave the boundaries far behind you.
Introducing
Introducing the all-new Goodyear Eagle F1 with racing-inspired dual aqua channels that sweep water away for serious traction in the wet, especially in braking. The new ultra-high-performance Goodyear Eagle F1.
Serious freedom. Goodyear, Goodyear.
285 horsepower. 2 airbags. And 2 easy open tops. The Pontiac Firebird T-Top and Firebird Convertible. Too cool.
ABC Monday, it's the biggest bash on the planet from the king of party animals.
When you thought you've seen it all, well, you're wrong.
Summer's very hot at the Walt Disney World 25th anniversary party.
Back at Daytona, IROC 21, you ride with Earnhardt. Al Unser Jr. is moving to the outside. There he is, as Earnhardt now gives up third place to Al Unser Jr. No question, Unser Jr. is on the fly, trying to move forward.
First 5 cars, all identically prepared. Firebirds. Unser Jr. trying to look to the outside.
Earnhardt's there to help him. That's the first time we've seen him spread out that far in the top 5.
Yes, it is. Look at Earnhardt.
Well, look how it helps him, too. Well, that's visible there, what the draft does for you.
Meanwhile, behind them, here we go for the lead.
Unser Jr. high alongside. But Gordon's going to get a little help from Mark Martin. Now it's 3 running the high side as Dale Jarrett pulls in, and Mark Martin decides he's going to go up there with that group. But Jarrett's going to drop down behind Martin, and he's going to help out on the low side with Gordon. Then he comes high.
No one wants to help Jeff. They all want on the high side. They all want to be on the top side of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon are left hanging by themselves on the bottom of the racetrack. There's the leader, Al Unser Jr. Second place, Dale Earnhardt.
I cannot get over what a great job they have done, Jay Signori and that IROC crew, on getting these Firebirds ready for this season. They wanted to make them more raceable, and there's the evidence.
Now they're all trying to go high, trying to get that momentum. Dale Jarrett on the outside in 3rd spot. Mark Martin's in 4th. Tommy Kendall, Randall LaJoy. On the inside, we got Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon,
Terry Labonte.
And Terry Labonte.
Fight continues at the front. Here is Jarrett. Remember, he's won twice in the Daytona 500 on this track. He moves down alongside Earnhardt into 2nd place. Now he's challenging for the lead, and Dale Jarrett puts a nose ahead of Al Unser Jr. They're side by side.
And look at Dale Jarrett battle for the lead side by side in turn 3. Oh, contact.
Al Unser Jr. darts over, gets into the right front of Jarrett, but they both hold on. Looking back from Little Al, that's Earnhardt directly behind him.
From Jarrett and Gordon.
And now here comes Earnhardt.
On the inside is Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon.
5 laps to go now as they flash across the line, head into turn 1 once again. Al Unser Jr. leads it. Dale Earnhardt, you ride with him now, is in 2nd place, but he's up on the high side. Good line of cars there, but look at him come by down low as Dale Jarrett, with the help of Robbie Gordon, or Jeff Gordon, then Robbie Gordon. I would have been safer just saying Gordon.
You got 6 on the outside, 3 on the inside.
And Al Unser Jr. now beginning to think a little bit about protection as he comes right down the middle.
Our race commemorates Sir Whitmore's ill-fated expedition to the North Pole. He was told he would have better grip with wide snowshoes, but he insisted on thin. He learned a hard lesson. Wider is better.
Presenting the new Wide Track Grand Prix Sports Sedan. Its wheels are set wide for better grip to make tracks in any weather.
The spirit still calls.
The new Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better.
At Pennzoil, we know brutal driving doesn't just take place on a racetrack. It begins at the end of your driveway. You stop, you go. You stop, you go. If this reminds you of your commute, we recommend you use Pennzoil motor oil. Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving.
Morning, Bob. Morning, Henry.
Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome to a tale of Spin City's Mike, who's a rock in any situation.
That's why I'm so happy I'm having your baby.
You froze my guys?
I'm just here to get your blessing.
What am I, the Pope? You padlocked the freezer. I'm taking the whole thing with me.
Join us for the Tales of Spin City, part of a full night of great comedy ABC Tuesdays. Wednesdays are taking over your TV.
Oh, yeah, I'm in on that.
Do not attempt to adjust your set.
It's being controlled by powers beyond reason.
You will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Remain calm.
ABC is doing its best to keep things under control. Especially you, Doughboy. It's Grace, Coach Drew, and Ellen. Can they be stopped? They're taking over your Wednesdays on ABC.
This is my Independence Day.
Back for the final 2 laps at Daytona International IROC 21. This is the time when you look for someone who will go with you. But I'll tell you what, trying to find a friend with less than 5 miles to go is very difficult.
LaJoy said, Mark, if you'll go, I'll go with you. Promise I will. Mark's taking a look. He can't do anything about it.
But look at them. They're all vultures, just perched there.
This is the third-place car, Mark Martin. As they all try to figure out, what can I do to make it better for me?
Decision time. So they head for the white flag. 1 lap to go. Let us not forget how this has played out in the past. Here comes the move down to the inside.
Mark Martin, and he dives in the second spot. Here comes LaJoy.
LaJoy up, pushing with Earnhardt. Tommy Kendall right behind Earnhardt. Last lap of the IROC. Al Unser Jr. still the leader. The defending IROC champion, Mark Martin, is pushing him.
This might be the way it's going to end. Dale Earnhardt, he came side by side with someone back there, and he lost his momentum. Can he and Mark Martin hook up and do something with Al Unser Jr.? They've got about a quarter of a mile to do it.
Time and distance is running out. If they're going to do anything, they close on him, though. A little help from Earnhardt pushes Martin. Al Unser Jr. makes that final turn in, and he'll hold right down the middle of the circuit, and Al Unser Jr. will take his 11th IROC win and his first at Daytona. So Al Unser Jr. in one terrific race.
Wow, what a battle.
Unser Jr., Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Randy LaJoy, Tommy Kendall. Those are the top 5. I'm not so sure that little Al is convinced that it's over.
I don't think he realizes the race is over, or he feels like he might have made someone mad, and he don't want that person to catch him before he can get back.
You know what? I don't think he realizes he's won this race. He is still running flat out. That's Jimmy Vassar just ahead of him. Look at this. He goes past the pit entrance and heads for the line. Al Unser Jr. doesn't know he's won it. Well, now he knows. Yeah, now he realizes he's won it. When we come back, Jack Arute can pose the question, Al, what were you thinking?
The engineers at the Pontiac Grand Am make excitement a standard feature, right down to the exhaust system. They've designed it of stainless steel, not common metal. So instead of being rust-prone, it stays rust-proof. Everything on a Grand Am is built to be driven quite hard, which may explain why it's driven quite often. Grand Am. Built for kicks, built for keeps.
2 quarters, dime, 9 pennies, 1 frosty, please.
Wendy's 99-cent super value menu has great choices like our cool, creamy frosted uni bacon cheeseburger, hot fries, or cold drink. Always 99 cents every day. Tough game?
He'll get over it.
You think about your car a lot. You have grease under your fingernails. You can name all the pro drivers and the cars they drive. You have all the car stuff a guy could want, and you know where to go if you don't. True Value, official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and garages everywhere. So hey, get this Armor All trigger spray for only $5.99 or Black Magic tire dressing for just $3.99.
These are the shoes that make athletes out of mere mortals. The shoes that make men fly. And these are the insoles that give them better cushioning and shock absorption. So replace your old insoles with Dr. Scholl's Sport Insoles. Make your shoes feel like new.
Al Unser Jr., Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt. Racing's biggest names get together for a fight under the lights. IROC rolls on next Sunday on ABC.
There you are. Well, Al Unser Jr., you tried and tried and tried. Welcome to Victory Lane at Daytona International Speedway. Tell us about the checkered flag lap. You were still flat out.
Yeah, well, I was watching everybody so close that I knew the white flag came out, but I never did see the checkered, and I was just making sure, that's all.
Then coming down on the pit road, you stopped and had a conversation with Earnhardt.
Yeah, I tell you, just it's great to be in Victory Lane here in Daytona. We fought so hard to get here, and Dale, he just told me what he told me. I was going to push all the way to the end, and I go, well, I was just covering my bases when I forget who was coming down low on him, and I knew they had a run, so I was going to get low to help that. And, I was saying, sorry I left you hanging, but, racing's racing, so.
You're a student of history. You love tradition. What does it mean to come to Daytona and score a victory?
It means everything. I've been trying 12 years to get into this Victory Lane, and Dad has done it a couple times during that 12 years, and it's just super, I want to say hello to Al and Cody and Shannon and my lovely wife, Shelley, and we did it, babe.
Oh, man, what a terrific race. We'll take a look at the final standings. Average speed, 177.6 miles an hour. They didn't slow them down all that much. 16 lead changes among 8 drivers compared with last year, 3 lead changes, 4 drivers. Let's go back to Jack.
Mark, you've always been a guy that says, I'm in it for the long haul. 4 races are what determine the championship.
Yeah, I wish I could have led some laps and got some bonus points there. Second place is really good. It's better than we did last year, so it's a real competitive series. We'll take second and go try to lead a bunch and win the next time. Little Al's awesome. He said before the race he needed a friend. I said, I'll work with you. And heck, I never saw him all race, and we finished 1-2 right there on the last lap. There he was in front of me, so I guess it was just kind of fate that we wound up together.
Well, here are the point standings as we leave Daytona. The bottom 6 is a little bit different than the race standings. That's because guys like Jeff Gordon led laps and picked up extra points. It was good for 3 positions for Jeff. Here's Jack.
Well, now that you've got one under your belt, are there any hand signals that you want to teach to Darrell Waltrip?
Well, not much. Stay out of the wall.
Alex Zanardi, I'll tell you what, he seems to be fast no matter what he drives. Next telecast of the IROC from Charlotte, North Carolina, Under the Lights. Remember how beautiful that was last year? And what a great presentation that Charlotte put on for the International Race of Champions. Round 1 is now complete, and Al Unser Jr. has taken the win. I'm Paul Page for Benny Parsons and Jack Arute. So long from Daytona.
The International Race of Champions on ABC Sports. Brought to you by the legendary Fire.